This Dees Nerds guy is a real idiot. Physical media is so dumb. Why doesn't he just stream it like everyone else? Who even buys physical movies anymore? Me, that's who. I love physical media, right? I mean, I love collecting it. It just brings me a lot of joy. 4K, Blu-ray, even DVD if I have to settle for it, that's okay too. I really love physical media. And one portion of physical media that I really love, box sets. Love collecting box sets. So much fun. The artwork that can go into that, the different features that come with it. It's just a lot of fun. So I just kind of wanted to go through my collection and kind of show you some of my favorite box sets and kind of look at the packaging and see how they're kind of put together. And, just thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. So let's dive in. I figured we'd kind of start with more traditional, kind of still in case kind of stuff, and then go out to the more elaborate packaging as we move throughout. So I thought I'd start with one from Shout. Of course, Shout, great company, has some great releases. And of course, Bill and Ted Face the Music comes out here in a few weeks. So Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Collection. I mean, this thing is just really awesome, has both films in it. And I like some of the swag that comes with it. So, you've got like a couple of bumper stickers. Of course, there's the Bogus Journey one. There's the Most Excellent Adventure one. And then as well, you get a Wild Stallions guitar pick so that you can become an expert shredder, right? So, I mean, and then of course you have the discs that are housed in there. That's just looks really awesome. So, yeah, that's a really great one of my favorites. Next, we're going to move into the Universal Monster collections. They call it the Complete Legacy collections. Of course, you've got, the Wolfman. You've got the Mummy. You've got the Invisible Man. You've got Frankenstein. You've got Dracula. And you've got the Creature from the Black Lagoon. And I know they did like a big, huge box set where they basically threw everything in here. Well, that probably would have been more bang for the buck. I don't know. I just really like these individual releases. They're just a lot of fun. They're really, I mean, like I said, they're traditional. It's just a slipcover. And then, of course, they have the discs housed in there, like that. Just a traditional Blu-ray case. Nothing real crazy there. But I really just love the content in these. They definitely get a lot of watch time around October. And actually, I can't wait. Charlotte might be getting to the age where we can start showing her some of these, so I'm really excited about that too. Next one we have is actually very near and dear to myself and Michelle's part, but it's the Lord of the Rings box set. And the story behind that is we've been married for 8 years, and we have been together for 9 years. So just after we started dating, it was Michelle's birthday, and I actually got her this box set for her birthday, and she just adores it. We probably watch this, I would say, 2 to 3 times a year, the full way through, and that's how much she loves Lord of the Rings. I like Lord of the Rings a lot. She just adores it, and we were even lucky enough to get Samwise himself, Sean Astin, to sign that for us at a Comic Con we went to late last year. Great guy to talk to. He was, I mean, it was a thrill to get to meet him. But as you see there, it just kind of the flap opens up, and then you see all the DVD or the Blu-rays. Sorry, the Blu-rays are in there, housed in their own packaging. Which, by the way, black cases at the time, like we started going out like in 2011, that was kind of a cool thing. Then of course 4K now, that's a pretty traditional thing, but black cases back then, that was pretty special for Blu-ray. So, but yeah, we just adore this one. The next one we're looking at, actually, there are two Batman ones that we're going to look at next. The first one is I don't know whether it's limited edition or not. That's what it says on the front. That's what I'm going with. But Batman the Animated Series. And what I love about this one is that actually it opens from the top. So that all slides out. You get, the little bit longer looking book like that. And then it just does like that, which I love, like the artwork and everything on each page. And then, of course, the discs kind of come out from the top. That's one criticism I've seen of the box set is that you do have to touch the sides of the discs to get it out. There's no way to just handle the edges. It's got to come out that way. I haven't had any issues with it as far as playability factor or anything. If I start to see that the edges of the disc get a little too smudged, I just wipe it with like a normal cloth or something like that. So, but that one we've watched that one already through probably 2 or 3 times since I've owned it. Love it to death. And of course, its sequel series, Batman Beyond. Love this show so much. It's so great. But of course, it also kind of goes out like this. And then, of course, everything. Oh, dropped something there. We dropped the episode guide there. But of course, it opens up. It's got, again, some great artwork in it. I mean, it just knows what it's doing. I mean, it's such a great box set as well. Moving on, we're gonna move into the definite thriller category by Alfred Hitchcock Masterpiece Collection. I love Alfred Hitchcock so much. These movies definitely get some rewatch time around October as well. But of course, it slides out like that. You've got a pretty big booklet there that has like an essay and some different things in there as well. And then also you've got, again, you've got just some really cool. I like that they use like the poster on each one like that. I think it's really cool. The disc kind of comes out right there. Again, there are some people that do not like this form of packaging. Again, I've never had any issues. It's really glossed inside there. So, I mean, like I said, never had any issues, never really seen very much in the way of scratches. But, each one is just really, really cool. Like, make sure to highlight the poster artwork. I always think that's a big plus when packaging does that. So, there's a lot of movies in here. A lot of the classics, Rear Window, Psycho, Rope is a really big favorite of mine. The list goes on. The Birds. We can sit here and we can name Alfred Hitchcock movies all night long. So, but that's another great package there. All right, the next one is probably one of the more elaborate in the way of swag that you get with a box set. But it is the Lone Ranger, the 75th anniversary collector's edition. The thing about this one is, it's only season 1 and 2. There were more seasons of the Lone Ranger, and at one point even went in color. This is a TV show that I grew up watching a lot. It was this, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then there was obviously like G.I. Joe, Transformers. But this was one that was actually in there that was kind of an oddball fit because, it was back in the 50s, but I just adored it. Thank you, Dad, for showing me the Lone Ranger. But the box set itself is, like I said, just opens up like that. And then you have like all this stuff that kind of comes out of the box. So obviously you have the 2 cases that hold all the discs for season 1 and 2. And, so it kind of opens up. It kind of does this where it does that. And you see like all of the discs housed in there. Again, never had any issues with playback or anything there. Even though I will say this is a little bit rougher than, say, the Alfred Hitchcock set, the back of that where the disc is housed. But same thing here, for 7, 12, same. Just kind of opens up, does that little bit right there. And then it also comes with bonus features. Now, this part's kind of cool. One thing that's not cool is that this thing is kind of come apart a little bit, even though I haven't handled it all that much. But that's where the bonus features disc is housed. But what I do like is that whenever you open it up, you see Lone Ranger on one side, and you see Tonto on the other, which is a pretty nice touch. It just would have been nice if this would have held together a little bit more. I might try to like super glue it or something to try to see if I can get it to fit. There's also an episode guide there. And then, this is probably one of the biggest books I've ever gotten with a box set like this. This thing is just thick. As you can see, a lot of pages. I haven't even read through this. I normally love to read through books like this and haven't read through this. The other side, I talked about swag. You get this full pouch full of stuff. It's It's almost ridiculous actually what you get. But hey, they figured 75th anniversary, go whole hog, I guess, and have fun with it. You get these trading cards, and I'm not going to take them all out. I mean, there's several in there. You get a where you can apply to become a member of the Lone Ranger Safety Club. There's that. And you can place a 1 cent stamp there, right? Remember the last time stamps were a cent? Remember the last time you bought stamps? So also you get there's an envelope to the Lone Ranger. But then within it is a letter from the Lone Ranger. Boom. You know you're important when you get a letter from the Lone Ranger, right? I mean, that's just pretty cool. You are now a full-fledged member of the Lone Ranger Victory Corps. Man, that's some of the merchandise and stuff that they did back in the 50s. I mean, it's definitely of its time. You definitely don't get the feeling. Definitely, this is stuff that would never get done today. But back then, like, that stuff was cool. You get a membership card showing that you're a member of the Lone Ranger Victory Corps. So see, I could put my name there, and I would be a part of a very, very important club. And then here's a Lone Ranger comic book as well. I mean, it's even printed to look like it's from the 50s, just the style of paper and the way the art looks. I mean, isn't that cool? I mean, come on, man. Like, and then an autographed picture of Clayton Moore, which it's probably not like, it's obviously like just photocopied, but still, like, that would have been like, what, you send a letter out to the Lone Ranger, like, hey, would love a signed picture, and then he sends you back a signed picture, right? That's the way it was back in the day. But like I said, the stuff you get in here is just stunning, and I'm not even sure if this is in print anymore. I got it several years ago, but it's definitely probably the most extreme as far as just the stuff that you get in it. It's a really cool set. So this one, again, another TV show that defined my childhood. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from 1987, the complete series. It's shaped like the van. Come on. Isn't that awesome? I mean, and even the wheels roll. So, I mean, you could have your own turtle adventures while you're watching the show. Although I wouldn't recommend it because, I mean, the top just kind of sits on it. It doesn't like latch down or anything. So I wouldn't recommend having adventures like that. Get yourself a vintage van from the toy line to do that. I think I still have it. My daughter plays with it now. She really loves it. But of course the discs are all housed right there. I mean, I really like this packaging. I think it's really cool. It definitely is a conversation starter. Before COVID happened, we'd have people over, and that was like one of the first things they noticed in our living room on the shelf was, like, you got a turtle van? It's like, yeah, it's a complete series. So yeah, that's definitely a favorite. Speaking of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we have the 25th anniversary collection of the 4 films, 3 live action ones, and then the 2007 CGI movie. Again, it looks like a pizza box. It even has like the grease stains on the back, like if you had a pizza laying in there. And then of course you open it up, and the discs are pizzas. Of course they are. The only thing that I really kicked myself on with this set is that it did come with a comic book. And when we moved, I don't know what happened to it. It's gone. And it really hurts me deeply to know that I lost it. And there's also a beanie that came with it as well. I do wear that on occasion. It's pretty warm too. But yeah, I mean, just the idea. I mean, of course, using a pizza box is just a stroke of genius. Great stuff. All right, another one is, this one's kind of bulky. The Batman 1966 box set. I mean, first of all, when I first got it, you could press this button here and it would play the theme song. Now it just sounds really creepy because it's all the batteries running down, and it just sounds really slow. It's kind of like, remember in like Apollo 13 when they had like the player that they would be using in space, and then of course by the end it was like run down and it had gotten too cold and everything, so it was just like running really slow. That's exactly what that sounds like. But of course, you open it up, and it's got like trading cards. It's got Hot Wheels there, and then it's got all this stuff in here. I mean, that's where all this stuff is sort of crammed in there. I'll kind of go through that. You've got the episode guide, which is always important. And there's season 1, and it kind of opens. It just kind of opens up like so. By the way, the colors and everything they use, it just feels very evocative of that time. This was a bright show, and they definitely bore that out in the packaging. Again, there's season 2, and it does the same thing. So there's that. Season 3, this is when Batgirl joins, the last season. Of course, Cesar Romero. One complaint, the Joker should always be on the front, and it should always be on season 1. I don't know why. I just think that's weird. My call. So, but once again, you have that. It also has what they call an Adam West scrapbook, which just looks like a bunch of like photos and stuff. Probably, I haven't looked too much into it, but I'm assuming what Adam West, something that he took. I'm not sure, but it's just kind of. You can tell how much I haven't looked at this part because it's still really stiff. So, but yeah, that packaging is definitely very, very cool. I do enjoy this box set quite a bit. Next is another one that Michelle just adores. It's one I got her for Christmas here a couple 3 years ago. I can't remember, but it was for Christmas. I remember that. But Harry Potter Hogwarts collection, and of course, it looks like it's old leather. Of course, it's got the Hogwarts seal there on the back, and then the whole thing just slides out like that. And once again, it's got all the stuff on there, and it just. So it's just got a lot of stuff in here. And it just goes by year. Each one, it has special features. If they're extended editions, it's got them on there. It just keeps going year by year there. One thing I will tell you is that this set, for whatever reason, the special features disc would not play at all, and did some digging and found where there was an issue with that. So what did we do? We went out to Vintage Stock one day and found this for like $3 and just stuck that special features disc in there, and it works perfectly. So one thing, buyer beware kind of thing on there. But once again, it just kind of goes through each one, and then it also has another bonus disc on its own in the back. So there's that. Again, just really elaborate, really cool box set. All right, so the last one. So I figured, how do we end this? And I figure you just kind of work your way up and you just go with the biggest dog in the fight, right? So, of course, we're going to do Godzilla, the Showa era from 1954 to 1975. And whenever I say the biggest dog in the fight, I literally mean the biggest dog in the fight. This thing is gargantuan. I mean, I figure, Godzilla, yeah, it probably needs to be big, but it's almost like comically big. Like, if I can compare it, of course, like, say, the Invisible Man set I have here, it's a standard case, right? Look, look how ridiculous that is. Is that not crazy? Like, I had to find, like, special room to set this. I mean, because it's not going in on our movie shelves. There's no chance. I even tried to figure out a way, could I stick it this way? No, it's so wide, it just fell out. So, I mean, this thing is huge. I've seen people complain about this, and I can kind of understand where they're coming from. If I couldn't find a good place to put it, I would probably be in that group too. But this thing, the content in it is beautiful. I mean, it is just fantastic. I can't say enough good things about it. I mean, just the artwork. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's just some of these things I would, especially as we get later on. I mean, look at that. It goes film by film and kind of talks about each film. But I mean, like, look at that artwork. I mean, I would want prints of those. Some of these. I mean, like, they're just so, it's just wonderful. I really like Godzilla raids again. I love that black and white look. King Kong versus Godzilla, Mothra versus Godzilla, Ghidorah, the three-headed monster. I mean, like it's like they gave each artist, like, said, hey, just go for it. I mean, it's just so cool, and you just learn a lot about each film, and I mean, it's cool, and it just, yeah, like I say, it keeps going like that all the way through the end, and then the very back of the box is where all the discs are housed. So yeah, I believe it's 8 discs, 15 movies. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, the size part aside, that could be a legitimate cause of concern for some people that just don't have the storage space to set something like that up, especially with their movie collection. But I mean, after that point, I mean, the content, it's great, and I can't think of a better way to kind of wrap up going through some of my favorite box sets than in with that one. All right, so I would love to hear from you now. What's your favorite box set out of all the ones I showed you here, whether it's like, the movie content or the packaging? Would love to hear from you on that, as well as would also love to hear from you on, like, what your favorite box set is in your own collections. Maybe give me an idea of another box set to buy, right? Please like the video as well if you liked it. Also, if you like what we're doing here at Dees Nerds, we're two nerds on one channel just talking about the things we love. And if you want to get involved in that discussion, please subscribe to our channel as well as ring that bell icon so you know whenever we have new videos coming out. Also, we're on Instagram and Facebook, so please follow us there if you want to follow us for new content that we're doing pretty much daily as well. Until next time, I'm Chris, and we are Dees Nerds, and you guys have a great, safe rest of the day. Bye, guys.